The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
There was a family over in Ireland that decided to go out for a big meal to celebrate one of the kids' birthdays, actually. They were actually adult children with the parents who said, yeah, we're paying for dinner.
Oh, lovely.
So they went to a pub over in Northern Ireland and they had a big meal and everything went out a treat and they didn't hold back. They make sure they bought heaps of stuff and all the rest of it.
They really made a night of it.
When they left, a couple of days later, they noticed on Facebook that there was an issue that was going viral all around their town in particular and had been on the news.
And that was a family doing a runner
of them doing a runner from this hotel
they paid?
And not paying.
But they paid.
They said they paid, Nath. As it turns out, there's a big... they just went... Oh, this is a lawsuit. This is everyone around the county is talking about the McGears doing a runner.
The McGears.
Yep.
Don't trust them.
Don't trust them. Don't trust them.
McGears.
Done a runner. They've got all the money in the world.
So their reputation is ruined.
Oh, so they're wealthy.
Yeah.
They were relatively wealthy, not super rich, but they had enough money in the pockets, is what
They
the
were,
articles
as
say.
we would say, well-to-do.
Well-to-do.
But they're saying everyone around town has been talking about them.
Yeah.
Their name
And
is Dirt.
They want some compensation. Well, the party, which is the pub, had to come to the party because once they've done an investigation, they realised it was their fault. They paid out £75,000 to the McGears family.
So how did they get it so wrong?
The girl on the till, Nathan, didn't balance the till at the end of the night.
Well, I can't complain about that. I did veggie maths in year 10 and then gave it up. So maths...
But you would think before you start throwing out the accusations,
yeah, you'll check
you'd
the
do
math.
a double
You'd
check.
the
Like, wouldn't
math.
you?
They showed the vision of these people going. They said these were the ones.
Especially the
that
well-to-do family. Like, it would be like the McManuses walking in.
Yeah.
well-to-do.
Just like that.
Well-to-do, like
You would
super,
expect that
super
the
rich.
McManuses could do the
runner.
runner.
I
very
would
quickly.
suspect that I would actually, for any restaurant with you walking in, I would get the money first. I just would, because you had that in you. And then the person rings the police and goes, Sean McManus and his family just stole from us. So they go, come on.
Oh, come on, as if.
Yeah.
We actually are the perfect prime criminals that would never
Yeah.
get caught.
We should-
No one
we
would
should give
believe
it a
us.
run.
Yeah,
We should give
Nathan
it a
wasn't breaking into your house last night.
would do
Didn't
that.
TV. He gets up at 3:30.
Yeah, exactly.
John TV. Balancing the till.
Balancing the till can be an issue.
Yeah.
I remember when me and my cousin Steve were working at this bottle shop, and I remember this so clearly. One day we stuffed the till up completely. We had no idea how to open it at the end of the day to be able to make sure, but we knew that it was completely out of whack. So then we went, we both got our Velcro wallets out. I can still remember us being in the cool room together, ripping our
your wallet.
Velcro wallets open and just trying to get as much money as we could together to be able to put it in and make sure everything was square.
Back in
it was
the
like
day,
$7.
Back in the day, you would have to. I worked at Hannon's Food Mart, and if the till was out, you would have to pay for it yourself.
But if it was over, what
you?
happened?
If it was over,
Was it ever over?
no, it was over. They were concerned about what that was over for, and also stock take. But yeah, there was no panic there, Natalie. But
No.
No, what I'm
bad,
saying is if you copy, if you
Yes, I get it.
accept the overs,
Yes,
you've got to accept the unders as well,
yeah.
unless it's under by a ridiculous amount.
So I remember it was over by $23, and back then it was like, oh my
That's
god,
all the money.
well then that's the rest of my life paying this off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And these days,
Have you still have you
Nothing's
still
changed.
paid it off, or is it like you had
Nearly cost of living. Cost of living.
We want to know: have you had problems balancing the till?
Yes, so-
maybe it's because there was something underhanded going on, and that's how you finally figured it out.
So sums of money is missing from a building, right? Was it your fault? And did you have to pay it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find out there was something nefarious going on? Nefarious. Word of the day.
Where did you get that from?
That means no fairies.
That's right.
Okay.
Absence of
Absence of fairies.
Here's a story. Our old friend Tim Gossage.
Hi, Tim.
He said, I did a petrol drive-off on Canning Highway, and at the time he was doing Nova breakfast, so he was waiting here, and he was on the telly. He said he went in 6 months later, and they said, we knew you'd be back.
6 months.
This is the trust we get, Sean.
Great, Tim.
Yeah.
let's get a
No,
U-Haul today.
he'll be back some stage.
So we want to know about the pain
months.
of having to balance the till. Cody, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Cody.
Cody. Now, Cody, you know what? I think a lot of people have balanced the till, and usually we're 15 or 16, and we don't really know what we're doing.
What's your
Exactly,
story?
Yep. About 10 years ago, I was managing a pet shop, and we had sold a puppy. Everything went well. Puppy went home, and then at the end of the day, realised that the till was under $2,000
Oh,
because the FPOS machine bounced back.
Oh, $2,000. So you would have crapped your dax.
Yeah, I did.
What happened
Definitely.
next?
We had to, thankfully, because we saw the puppy, we had all their details.
And you had to go and
So
recharge them for the puppy?
Yes.
I wouldn't have said. I would have said, nah.
It's an awkward
mine.
conversation.
Yeah.
I know what I would have done. I would have said,
Give me cash, I'm prepared to look the other way.
let's put the puppy in the middle and we'll call it. And whoever the puppy comes through gets to keep the puppy.
Wow. $2,000. That's quite an error to have to explain to
Gee,
your
you'd be
boss,
sweating
isn't it?
bullets, wouldn't you?
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
Cody. Good work.
Hi, Ginny.
Hello.
Hello there. Hi.
Oh,
Good,
great,
Jenny.
honey.
Okay, talk to us about the pain of balancing a till, Jenny.
Okay, so many years ago, probably about 25 years ago, I used to work in a bank in the UK.
But you would have been too.
So basically, I'd gone on holiday for 2 weeks and came back and telling all my colleagues about my holiday, and was too busy chatting and gossiping and forgot to read the new memos.
Mm-hmm.
So a customer came in and asked for quite a large amount of cash.
Yep.
In those days, your big banknotes would all be pre-wrapped in different colour plastic.
Oh, you're right.
So they asked for like £10,000, and I gave these bags out, and super duper, all good. And we came to balance at the end of the night, and instead of giving this guy £10,000, I've given him 20,000.
That's double.
The bag had changed, yeah. So obviously the bank manager was not very happy. But luckily we obviously had the details of this guy, and I had to go round with the bank manager and the guy's door and say, look, I'm really sorry, but I did give you double the amount of what you should have done. And so lucky, the guy had not. I'd given him when I gave him the money, because it was such a large amount, would put it in the boss bag, and he went, oh, I hadn't realised. He went and got the boss bag, and he hadn't actually been to purchase the car that he was going to purchase. Basically, there was 20 grand in there instead of 10 grand.
No, it sucks. If he didn't realise that, he would have got 2 cars.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is insane.
God, we thought $2,000 was bad, but £10,000 is bad.
But you've got to go around there and
That's
knock
the
on their
thing.
door.
Now, remember you bought something from a shop and then they didn't charge you properly?
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
What was that?
It was jewellery,
Yes.
and I had a voucher, and then I had to make up the difference between the voucher and the price.
Yeah.
And she told me.
Did it?
I wasn't ripping it, and I didn't realise.
No.
And then I get a phone call
Yeah.
from this multinational
Yes.
jewellery company saying, "Can you come back in and pay the remaining $50?"
And you're right. Are you serious, Tiffany? We won't say where it was.
No. You'll never guess. Nikki's in Stratton. Hi, Nikki.
Hello.
Hi, Nikki.
Okay,
So,
talk to us.
what retail world were you working at? Like at a deli? Were you at like a pet shop? What
It
were
was
you doing?
a major grocery store.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay, great. One of the big two, I hear.
What
So
happened?
I was 16 or 17 and you had to count the till. But the first day when we started, our manager said, if there's any money missing, you're fired.
Oh.
Doesn't matter how
Fired?
much it is.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So we're like, we were really scared.
Yeah.
So over the time, you'd have 5 cents missing. We'd quickly rush out, go to our purses, put it in.
Yes.
So over the time, I probably spent about $32 of my own money.
Yes.
Just bolting to my locker quickly, put
But
it
imagine
in.
getting fired for 5 cents.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's what she was like. But I found out later she did get fired herself. But, yeah.
Why, for stealing?
She's stealing the bit, yeah. She's getting all that money.
What if she was the one slowly stealing from everyone, so that she was the reason your till was at 5 cents?
Maybe. Yeah, she used to go around and check, so I don't know.
I love how you used to run
amazing,
I love how
isn't
you used to run to your purse.
I know.
Back in the day, people's purses had change in them.
I know. Imagine. I can't remember that time.
No.
It's amazing. Thanks, Nikki. William's in Wanneroo. Morning, William.
Hello.
Hey,
William.
Right. Talk to us about when you had to balance the till. What was it like?
So this happened when I was in Malaysia. It was New Year's Eve 2018 to 2019, and I was running one of the newest, hottest bars in the city.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
So I had absolute full house, wall-to-wall people.
Yeah.
And over there, in a pub, everything is table service, so you don't pay before you get your drink.
Wow.
Okay. Now, that night we had a bouncer on the door, and he was supposed to make sure that anybody that was there before 12 o'clock was able to stay on, but new people after 12 o'clock couldn't come in.
Okay.
After the fireworks, he disappeared and my bar got absolutely hammered.
So you had no idea.
No idea where anybody was or who had what bill or anything like that. So at the end of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, we still had no idea, so we had no choice but to write it off.
How much?
Yeah, how much are we talking?
It was about 35,000 ringgit or $10,000.
$10,000.
That's still a lot.
So,
That's a
as
big
the
hole.
person in charge of the bar, fully knowing that it was security that, you know, that did this, does that fall on you?
Well, yeah, I got an absolute bollocking the next day.
I bet.
But at the end, I was only partly to blame because the security guard was the one that ran away.
Sure.
Where did he go? Where did he go?
Well,
He
someone
would have
had a
to
crack
find
at him.
He's
So
like
he's
a
just
border
walked off
collie
with the
gets
chick.
scared by fireworks. Yeah, they bolt.
But how good was it for the other people who wouldn't have been able to normally get in?
Yeah.
And they've just waltzed into this joint.
I know, and the only real
Free
thing you can
tips.
do, the only real thing you can recover the cash is lock the doors,
Yes.
turn the music on and say, okay,
You're not
honestly,
getting out.
who was here before? Honestly.
What you're
Who had
saying
the
is
double Jackson dry?
a hostage situation. Yeah, right.
Situation.
You threw the margaritas. You was 45.
I mean, that is the fundamental flaw, isn't it? That if it's table service and you don't pay until you're finished, and then there's New Year's Eve, you know, shenanigans. Like, if people don't go back to their table.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing? Like, you know, I think in this day and age there'd be more pay before you sit down sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was at the survey the other night and it was like really busy. And you know when you've got like 3 cars waiting behind you?
Yes.
Then you have to go leave your car at the petrol station and walk into the survey. All I want to do is get in my car and drive forward, but I know that people would think you're doing a run.
Yeah.
But in this day of, like, QR codes, surely.
Oh, yes, don't you think? I know. But remember how we just voted before? That was on paper. Remember that?
I know.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, Nat. How are you?
Seems to be a bit of a problem.
There's a person to the left-hand side of us that normally sits here, and I can't see him. Is he invisible today?
Wow, wouldn't that be a scoop?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'd love to be invisible. He's not here.
Nathan, are you invisible?
No, I'm very visible. I'm just in my car and you guys aren't here, so I'm wondering where you are.
Oh, did you... Oh, were we supposed to meet Nathan somewhere this
Were we
morning?
supposed to be driving around all morning? No.
Were you supposed to meet us here this morning? Has there been a
Yes. Maybe.
bit of confusion?
This is my issue. This is my issue, right? So I yesterday did my alarm with Alexa, right? I didn't do it physically on my phone. I did it with Alexa.
You're
And
always
I tried
blaming
to-
women for your problems, Nathan.
There's a guy in the mix as well. Computer also let me down. They're all different names. Anyway, and so yeah, it just didn't go off this morning. And I had a friend over last night, Sean.
Yeah,
who was-
yeah. It was a
not
good
you,
night
no,
too,
right?
mate. It was a good night.
All right, to say no more.
We came over, we had a quick dinner, right? And then he's been doing this thing lately, and I wonder if it's him, because he texted me this morning just before and he says, what time do you start work? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's that? That's a weird question. He's been doing this thing where he sends me a video message and then I open it up and he loudly says to Alexa or to one of my AIs that he is to turn the lights off or turn the TV off or turn the volume up to maximum. So I think that someone's been stuffing around with my AI. And I
Whoa.
think that,
Sorry, he sends you a message. How does that work?
he sends me a video message. I open it up.
Yeah.
My phone's on loud.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he'll go, Alexa, turn the TV up to maximum volume.
Yeah, right.
And then suddenly Alexa will do the command that he said. And he's been doing it for the last week. And when he got it
But
last
did you
night,
not notice a message where he yelled, Alexa, turn your alarms off?
No, he was in the house last night. That's what I'm saying. And then I bought Marnie a doormat from Kmart.
Yeah.
And then I ran upstairs before she took her dog Archie for a walk to show him the dog. And he was upstairs by himself with my AI, who he disrespects on a daily basis.
The dog?
The AI.
Sorry,
The
my
AI.
mistake, yeah.
The dog is Archie. The AI is Alexa.
Hey, did you panic this morning when you get the... Because the first thing I would have done, I would have just bloody sprung out of... I would have pooed my pants.
Oh. Actually, remember the last time I sprung out of bed? My knee dislocated. I couldn't go to the So I just calmly did it. But here's my question, right?
Yeah.
I am basically at the back of Nova right now, but I'm still in my car. Do I go into the into the car park, or do I just take a quick left and do a sneaky round of hash browns from Hungry Jack?
Well, I think we've got Hungry Jack's getting on board with us today. But this is what I say. We've spoken about this many times. The universe tells you sometimes you shouldn't come in, and maybe this is the case.
Well, can you guys quickly look around?
Nobody's listening. They won't know.
No, there is, Sean. This is crazy, right? When we drive to work, there is no one on the road. It's my road.
Yeah,
and
of course.
if people are in my way, that's their problem. Get out of my way.
Yeah.
So, hey, this morning, the world is up, Sean. The world is up.
Yeah. No, it's true. Why don't you go and do Pilates for an hour, like with all the regular people?
I should do a whole morning where I'm like a privileged wife, and I'll do what a privileged wife does when she wakes up.
Absolutely.
I will. What do they do, Sean? What do privileged wives do?
Megan will be asleep. No, you can. Here's the list.
All right, well, get up here shortly, mate.
We'll see you in a minute,
Try
mate.
coming into the car park and get in the lift and come up to the...
No, I'll do Pilates and I'm going to go out for a muffin.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Welcome to the studio, Bella, who, when you call us, I mean, she does a lot of things around here, but one of
She's our
the
assistant producer.
She's the voice that you hear who answers the phone.
I tell you what, when she steps into the big role too, in the big chair.
I tell you what.
I know.
Scary.
Balls with an iron fist. Now, you are living through a particular pain at the moment, Bella. Tell everybody what's happened.
Yeah, so we'll go for the full backstory.
Okay, let's do
so
that.
I was driving home yesterday and I was like, I just feel like I've had a day. Like, I'm just really tired. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to do my normal
You
walk.
work hard, mate.
Anything like that. I was like, I'm just going to go home, have a shower, get in my comfies and just like veg on the couch.
So that's what I do daily.
I was like, cool. I've got 2.5 episodes left of the show that I've been watching, The Pit.
The Pit is a great show. So this is a medical,
It's like a medical drama, but less like drama-y than Grey's Anatomy. Like
Yes.
just a bit more like gritty. Anyway.
My mum's
You
going to
do,
eat that with
and a bit
spoon.
gory. So it's a bit, you do
Gory?
get to
Yeah,
see some
yeah.
quite confronting injury.
Yeah.
Graphic injury.
And they
Yeah.
do the like,
Which
you
I
know,
love that.
You finish one episode and you want to watch the next one really
Because it's
well.
also, it's basically the whole series is one day in the ER. So when you're watching an hour of
in
it,
real
that's an
time.
hour in real time.
Because that's what
Yeah.
24 hours was supposed to be. Remember?
Yes,
24,
yeah,
24.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
a
I
long
got
day, eh?
home.
So you've got
cozied
2.5
up,
to go.
Have my little blankie, my dog's cuddling me on the couch, go to open Binge where I've been watching it. Can't find it anywhere. I was like, that's weird. Did a little search on Binge, couldn't find it.
Maybe
Did
someone purged it.
Yeah, did the whole Apple TV search where it shows you, what platforms
Yes.
it's on. They've been taken off Binge and it's on another platform now that I don't pay for, so I don't get to watch my last 2.5.
Oh, my God.
You committed, you're in.
So
I
this
know.
is what's really annoying me. In this streaming, they've all got these deals, and they hold a program for a certain amount of time. I had a mate around a few weeks ago which I said, he loves Danny McBride, and I said, you've got to watch The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
And then I went, it's on, and I said, it's on Binge. So we jump on Binge, and it's not the latest season is there, all the previous seasons have been taken off.
Yeah.
Because
so-
now they
Sold
added
it
somebody
down
else.
somewhere
So
else.
HBO Max is the new one that it's gone to.
Binge just lost the rights to all of the HBO.
Yeah.
I reckon if you start watching a series on a certain platform, you should be able to
there should be a
finish it.
guarantee.
You
Yeah,
should-
or can they
they've
give
got
you a warning, like 24 hours to go? Because I would have just stayed up all night.
Yes.
And finished it.
Yeah, yeah.
So now
So you'll
you're-
never know what
Yeah,
happens.
So now,
Exactly.
what's your moving forward? What are you going to do?
Well, there's a couple things that I also want to watch on HBO Max, like The Last of Us, when it all
Yes.
comes, when the whole
Because
season's
that's jumped
out.
forward 5 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the
So-
whole season's, I'll purchase that for a month probably.
purchase
Yeah.
it.
But it's with ads.
Purchase it with ads. So you purchase it and you get ads with the purchase.
Is there no free trial? Is there a free trial for a month? What?
I know.
But that's how we get. That's how everybody.
That's how
You know
we
what,
get around
guys?
it.
Guys, you know what? We're going to have to all
welcome to.
dust off our portable hard drives and get back onto LimeWire, was it? Remember when we were downloading everything? We had people call us, right, Bella? We'd say, we're talking about downloading stuff. They would go to Claremont Quarter, this one chick, and she would sit there and download episodes of Supernatural while she's just
Using
waiting
their
there, using their
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
So, yeah.
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 We're sorry for your pain.
Thank you.
I mean, you
I
suffer
do it
enough
for
working
long.
with us, so to go
I
through
know.
this at home is
It's a
too
hard
much.
day. Yeah.
Too much. Thanks,
Can
Bella.
anyone have her... What's it on now?
HBO Max.
Can everyone have her HBO Max?
Log in.
Not in this room.
Send it to us.
Send it to us.
We need a password.
Bella will give you a prize. She's in charge of all those.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
yesterday, we all know what happened. I stacked my car, remember?
Yeah.
And then I'd lost my glasses. I was having a nightmare. And so yesterday I had those glasses that were...
She went full Velma.
Velma from
full Velma.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. But they were just magnifiers. And they made, if I looked at a screen, it made it look like it was curved. It was like looking at everything through a snow globe. And by the time I got home, the worst headache. Of
course.
Like, just couldn't. And then I still had things that I had to look at and read, and I'm like...
That must have really hurt now, because Sam here let us try his glasses on.
Oh, yeah, no, he's
Sam,
blind.
what's your... Do you officially know... Is there a word for what you got? Blindness?
Yeah, real bad. -4, I think, for glasses heads out there will know.
So literally, if you put them on at all, like within 2 seconds, you get a
feel
headache.
it, right?
So that would have been bad.
But you can see what's going on in the International Space Station.
That's true.
One of them just dropped a pin.
And so and then I dug around and found an old pair of glasses, prescription glasses, and I thought these will be better because at least they're the transitional lenses, so that, because what I was finding with the magnifiers is that I would look down, it would help me read, but as soon as I looked up, it was like, whoa, the whole thing spun. And so I found these old ones, but in order to read anything, I had to like lift them up on my face so that the stronger part, which is at the bottom of the lens, I was looking through the very strongest part of them. And I'm like, well, this is not sustainable.
But we could have MacGyvered a thing, so you put like a hair clip in your hair, and then that has a little extension down there and pulls it up like a blind.
Yeah.
We could have done that. It would look all right.
Could have. But as you know, because I'd stacked the car, which we put up on yesterday, I had to return. So I took it back to Melville Mazda, and they're like, well, you're due to change your car over anyway. So I then had to clean out my whole car.
Oh, no.
And
people watching?
My glasses were wedged down the side of my seat. I hadn't left them at the Rechabite Theatre as I thought, but they were properly wedged. I'm like, they've never fallen down there ever.
But what a gift.
That's a gift.
Isn't it great when you have said goodbye to something because it's gone and you realise it's gone on a journey of its own, and then suddenly it pops up.
Just
I know.
That's
exciting. That's great.
Sean, you and I, we love a happy ending.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yours was out without moisturiser, which was different.
Just use Gorilla Grip.
That would be a moment.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.